Hi guys, and welcome to Escape with Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be reviewing the Electra Jungle Chronograph. I received this watch for free. I don't have to send the watch back, but you guys know the deal by now. It's not going to sway my review one way or another. No matter how I get a watch in on this channel, you're going to get my full and comprehensive review every single time. And if by the end of this review you do want to pick one of these up, as always, there will be a link down in the video description that takes you right to the official website of Electra. There you can see the different colorway options and pick out the one you like the most. So the retail price for this watch is about 400 euros, but they are currently in a sale for about 300 euros, and that equates to roughly 350 US dollars. I was hit with an import fee here in the US of about $60 when it arrived, so just something to be aware of if you are stateside. The watch comes in the 5 different colorways as shown here. I think they all look pretty good. The watch case is made of 316L stainless steel. It has a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, a screw-down crown, screw-down case back, 100 meters of claimed water resistance. It has Swiss Superluminova on the dial and the hands, and the watch is powered by the Seiko VK63 Mecha Quartz. So if you guys aren't aware, Electra, the brand, they've been around since the 1960s. However, like many watches during that time, they had to shut their doors in 1971 because of the quartz crisis. But again, like many of those brands, they're kind of being revived as a new micro brand based out of France. Their first watch was a diver, which featured some cool retro designs inspired by the original Electra watches from the 1960s, and now they're back with a new chronograph. Kind of has some of the same design elements throughout. So I say we get into the full review, see if this watch is worth getting. Before we do a quick wrist check. Wearing a new Watch Dives WD0003 on the black mother of pearl dial. Looks absolutely stunning. Review for this one and many other Watch Dives watches coming soon. Alright, so let's talk about the dimensions. We got a bezel diameter of 40 millimeters, case thickness of 13.6, standard 20 millimeter lug width, lug tip to lug tip of 48.1 millimeters, and on the supplied rubber strap, weighs 104 grams. So I think the size of this is going to fit a lot of wrist sizes. It's kind of those classic 40 by 48 dimensions. A little bit thick. I was kind of surprised to see that. I'm kind of used to seeing a little bit thinner watches, but it doesn't look too thick. The mid case here is sculpted nicely and does have a little bit of hook down to those lugs there, as you can see. It wears comfortable. It's got a little bit of heft to it. Yeah, I've got no real complaints with the way it wears. I think it wears really good on anything, probably 7 inches and above. It's going to be fine. So, yeah, I do like the way that it wears. Let's go outside and throw it on my wrist for you. Yeah, here we are on my 7.5 inch wrist, and I think it wears great. We got no real complaints with it. It feels comfortable. It feels balanced. It's a pretty heavy watch just for, basically a watch head. But I mean, it just seems very solid. It's got some chunk to it as well if you're into that. Looks really good. The air crystal does a very good job of keeping reflections down. Very legible watch for being fairly busy. And here we are out in some direct sunlight, and this is kind of where the dial shines. It is a beautiful sunburst and a fume. Just a really cool effect, actually. Looks really good. All right, let's throw it on a couple straps and let's get back to the review. And because I got the colorway on this one, only a few straps are going to look good. Black, obviously. Brown is another one that I think looked pretty good. So I threw it on this hemsuit leather strap. Really nice strap. Link will be down below. But yeah, looks good. And white is always a good option as well. I think that looks pretty good. Light green and white. I think it goes with the dial accent colors, and yeah, it just looks good. And here we are on a Milanese strap. No link for this one. This is lifted off an old Pagani design, but yeah, just gives you an idea of what a Milanese strap will look like on it. Looks pretty good. And lastly, here we are on a Sifu nylon strap. So there's one layer underneath the watch there. This is kind of where that thickness comes into play a little bit. I can feel it sitting up a little tall, but it's still plenty comfortable, plenty wearable. Yeah, I think it looks good. What do you guys think? All right, let's go back inside and let's get back to this review. All right, so first things first, let's talk about the case finishing. We have a circular brushing on the tops of the lugs there, as you can see, very vintage-like. We have this squared off lug setup, as you can see there, kind of reminiscent of the old skin divers. We have horizontal brushing on the case sides. We have a really nice high polished chamfer that runs the length of the case there, as you can see. Nicely done. good polishing, good transitions. I see nothing out of the ordinary with those. Those look good. So the pushers, they're just normal, kind of small piston style pushers, nothing decorating them or anything like that. We do have a signed screw down crown, good size on that. The brushing, again, looking pretty solid. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. It all looks very nicely done. Same thing on the other side over here. The case back on this watch, I don't put too much into a case back on a watch, but I do like to point it out when it's a really nice one, and that's what this is. This is a very nice case back. Mixture of brushing and polishing. Got a little bit of design here. We do have simple notches just to get a tool in there if you need to, but it says Electra watches there in the middle, kind of in this deep pressed or embossed style. I mean, it just looks very good. Everything here is nice and smooth as well. I don't feel it gripping onto my finger or anything like that. So really happy with the case back on this watch. Like I said, I don't usually put too much stock into a case back, but I can appreciate a very nice case back, and that's what this one is. So really happy with the case finishing on this watch. There's no sharp corners or sharp edges anywhere on it. It feels very nice and high quality in the hand. So yeah, I do like that. I do like the case finishing on this watch. I think they did a good job. So this is a chronograph movement. However, we do have a diver style bezel on this thing. So that's an interesting thing. You don't really see that too often. You can see here the bezel itself, stainless steel, fully polished. Nice grip there on the coin edge. I think it looks good. We do have a sloped aluminum insert here. Very minimal. There's no numbering on that at all. So you kind of have to figure that out on the fly. But actually pretty happy with that. This is again an aluminum insert, and then it's engraved and filled with BGW9. We'll get to the Lume shot here in a little bit. We do have a triangle here at the 12 o'clock. The alignment on this thing is spot on, and that's because this is just a smooth friction bezel, bi-directional, as you can see there. I think the resistance is just about perfect for a smooth bezel like this. It feels really nice and slick. Obviously, you're going to get a perfect alignment. I have knocked it out of alignment a couple times, but for the most part, it's perfect, and it stays where you put it. So yeah, I do like this bezel. I like the bezel insert. There's no real play in the bezel either. I mean, it feels very, very good, and really like this bezel setup. All right, so let's talk about the crystal. First things first, testing it for sapphire. It is sapphire. So we have just a flat sapphire crystal. As you can see here, it does sit up above the bezel just a little bit. It has just a little bit of a radius there on the corner. It's not a sharp chamfer or anything like that. So it kind of gives off a slight top hat, but it is just a plain flat sapphire crystal. It's got lots and lots of blue anti-reflective coating, as you can see right here. I think it looks good. I know blue AR kind of gets a bad rap, but it's more effective at cutting down reflections. And I have to say, the crystal on this watch is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I've got no complaints about the blue AR. It is really, really good. It's a flat crystal, so I don't say that those often need anti-reflective coating. And the fact that they put lots of blue AR on this one, yeah, it just works really, really well. Keeps the dial nice and clear, and sometimes it just makes the crystal look like it's not even there. So I do really like the crystal on this watch. It is fantastic. All right, so let's talk about the dial. So there's kind of a lot going on this dial. So you can see here we do have the chapter ring around the outside. It is a tachymeter style sloped chapter ring in black. I think it looks good. The dial itself is a sunburst and fume dial. So it kind of fades from a very pale green in the center, almost a silver, to like a brighter green on the outside. I think it looks very nice. The sunburst is fantastic. It looks excellent. I do like the colorway on this watch. The subdials, they are different colors too. They're kind of a matte green on the 3 and 9 o'clock, and then this kind of mint green at the 6 o'clock. So there is a lot going on, but I think it all works together pretty well in my opinion. We have applied indices at all the hour markers. We have this 12 o'clock triangle there with the 12 in it, and then single batons everywhere else. They're, again, all applied, all polished. They look fantastic, and they are filled with BGW9. The Electra logo there at the 12 o'clock position, really nice and tall. I like that logo. I think it looks fantastic. The Electra text there, it kind of gets lost in the middle of the dial there, but I'd like to see that in maybe a brighter green or a black or something like that, just to help it stick out a little bit. But I don't think it looks bad. I just think it gets lost every once in a while. So yeah, just something to consider. We do have polished rings around each of the subdials as well, as you can see there. Again, looking really, really good. So the handset on this is kind of back to those old vintage skin divers. We have the big hour minute hand there, and then the shorter stubby kind of fence post style hour hand. Simple chronograph seconds hand there, as you can see it sweeping along, tipped with green in this model. And then each of the subdial hands, they're just fairly simple hands, and they are loomed as well. So it's a pretty nice and kind of busy dial, but I think executed well. They did a very nice job on it. There's no fluff or anything like that under the dial. There's no fingerprints on the hand. So yeah, they did a very good job on this one, in my opinion. And I think the alignment on the chronograph hand is just about spot on there. So yeah, I can't really complain too much. The lume on the watch, I'm going to pop it up against a couple other watches in the collection, and here you can see it. That's actually really good. It's a BGW9, like I said. You can see the chronograph subdial hands, those are loomed as well. The bezel is fully loomed as well. So yeah, there's a lot of lume going on. It's actually pretty decent and better than it needs to be for a chronograph. I was able to read this in the middle of the night, no problem. So yeah, really happy with the lume on this watch. All right, so getting to the movement. So inside we have the Seiko VK63 Mecha Quartz movement. If you guys aren't aware, it is a quartz movement with some mechanical parts to it. So it does have an automatic or quick reset of the chronograph hand. We do have a smooth ticking seconds hand there on the chronograph. So it's a very nice feeling movement. You got nice positive feedback on the pushers, both the start, stop, and on the reset. So really happy with that. It snaps right back to perfect alignment. So yeah, I can't complain with these movements. The accuracy on them is plus or minus 20 seconds per month, I believe, and about a 3-year battery life. So yeah, they're just great movements. I've had no issues with them. Movement is operated by this 3 o'clock screw down crown, smooth screw in, screw out action, and again, nicely signed there. First position does nothing. Second position, there is a ghost date position on this watch. So yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer there. Third position, you pull it out. That does hack the movement there, and this is where you set the time. Everything functions exactly how I would expect it to. The big bummer on this movement is the 24-hour dial here. People find it useless. I find it useless, but it's kind of the trade-off that we have to accept at the moment. Hopefully Seiko will come around and add a more useful subdial here. That's really my only complaint with this, is that subdial. Other than that, everything functions and looks great, and yeah, it just works as you would expect it to. All right, so let's get to the strap. So the strap on the watch, it's actually pretty good. It's an FKM rubber, so it doesn't pick up any dust or anything like that. It's nice and soft, kind of that dense but very flexible material right out of the box. It's been comfortable for me. You can see here it's got this perforation on the underside. It's got quick release spring bars. They are 20 millimeters and they taper down to 18 millimeters at the clasp. Just a smooth, you can see here, it is also kind of pre-formed to go around the wrist there. So again, just very comfortable. Got one floating keeper. We have another keeper here, which is kind of locked in place, but you can move that if you needed to. And then we have an electric buckle here. I'm not a big fan of this buckle, so I'll show you why here. So when you're putting it on, everything is fine. But when it's on the watch itself, you can see how it kind of just, it kind of comes up on an angle there. So it's not really curved. It doesn't really fit the strap. It doesn't have like a little notch here. I'm going to pull in another watch as an example, just so you can see how much better this buckle is. So yeah, this is a buckle on a Daniel Gorman, and you can just see how much nicer and how it flows with the band. It doesn't stick up, doesn't catch anything. This is definitely caught like in my pocket and stuff like that. So yeah, just something to be aware of. I'd probably look to swap out this buckle. The strap itself, it's not a bad strap. Like I said, it's really not a bad strap. It's been comfortable. It's just not my favorite one, mostly because of that buckle. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's serviceable, usable. I just don't like that buckle too much. So there you go, guys. If you are in the market for a micro brand chronograph with a reliable quartz movement, kind of has some funky retro design to it, some pretty cool colorways, an excellent crystal, really nice case finishing, and a dive bezel, which is kind of unusual on a chronograph. You don't really see that too much. So if that's something you're into, this is definitely one to look out for. I've been enjoying this one. It's been super comfortable. But yeah, it is. It's a really nice watch. Really, really nice watch. They did a good job. I'll be keeping an eye on Electra. They've got some pretty cool designs. I like their automatic. I wish they would make that in a slightly cheaper option, maybe with a VH31 or something like that. But yeah, I think this one looks really cool. And yeah, it's going to last you guys a really long time and be comfortable and kind of funky on the wrist. So yeah, I think that's it for me. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.